Hey guys, what's up? It's Tyrese. I'm filming another video for you guys. Hopefully you guys can learn something out of this, so do your best to pay attention. I've been lifting for 15 years now as a drug-free natural lifter completely. I've helped countless other skinny guys put on real muscle, and I've also helped fat people lose weight as well too. I've been learning about this thing for 10 years. I've got a decade's worth of research on this topic, so that's everything from training, nutrition, optimization, recovery, how to sleep, how to train properly, how to create programs, how to create routines, proper form, proper technique, like how often to rest, recovery, sets, reps, weights, etc., etc. Basically, I do this on my free time and I do this as a source of income as well too. So pretty much this is my whole life for the past 10 years now. So in this video, we're talking about the 3 unsung pillars of natural muscle growth. Hopefully in this video, we're going to uncover the 3 unsung pillars of natural muscle growth. That way you can stop plateauing, unlock consistent explosive gains, achieve peak strength, undeniable size, and lasting confidence. The plan with this video is to kind of demystify the growth beyond sets and reps, reveal some critical elements that a lot of you guys miss, and provide a complete blueprint for holistic growth. That way you can start growing and start putting on real size as a young, natural, drug-free guy. Couple pain points. I know what it's like to train hard but feel like you're not growing. That sucks. It's super frustrating, that's for sure. If you constantly feel tired or if you feel burned out, I know that's pretty draining as well too. Maybe you're confused by slow progress despite putting effort in the gym. That sucks. It's demoralizing. Maybe you feel like you're missing the secret to natural gains. That's one of the big common issues that a lot of guys struggle with as well, and it often leads to you feeling stuck. On the other side of this spectrum, I want you to imagine what it would wake up to feel energized, ready to crush your goals, feel like your muscles recover faster and you're growing visibly, like you can actually see it in the mirror. Imagine feeling powerful, resilient, and unstoppable. Imagine your natural physique truly optimized for growth. So if that type of thing sounds cool, you like this type of information, I've got tons more just like it. You can check that out, the link in the description below. So let's go over these pillars real quick. Let me just minimize them. That way it's not super distracting. We'll just do one at a time. Pillar number 1 is optimize nutrition, your growth fuel. Not just calories, but quality calories. In other words, you can't just fill your nutrition with crappy foods all day. Like, you might hit your calories that way, but I'll tell you right now, you're going to feel like crap if you do. 100% of the time, I tell my clients I would much rather have them try their absolute best to fill their calories and hit their protein intake goals with whole foods and foods that are healthy for you and not going to make you feel like crap. So pretty much that's avoiding sugary foods. Do your best to avoid sodas, avoid sugary drinks. Just stick to water if you can. No chips, no junk food like that, no fast food. But rather do your best that, like, when you go grocery shopping, stick to those outside aisles of the grocery store, because that's where you're going to find all your most nutritious and whole foods. So that's things like the deli, your seafood, your veggies, your fruit, your dairies. All that stuff's going to be on the outside aisles of the grocery store. And that's a little cheat, a little hack that I like to tell people, that when they go grocery shopping, just stick to the outside aisles and it'll be a little bit easier. Another thing is that you need to be in a consistent surplus, and that's every single day. Real quick, if you want to gain muscle as a young, natural, drug-free guy, you need to be in a caloric surplus every single day. Otherwise, you aren't going to grow. The next thing is to have proper protein every single day. On top of just having a calorie goal every single day, you need to have a protein goal every single day too, because if you don't get your calories as well as your protein in every single day, I promise you right now, I will tell you, you're not going to grow. If you just get your calories in, but you don't get your protein, there's a good chance you might grow, but you might be getting fat and not necessarily building muscle. So that's why hitting both of those is absolutely essential, not just one or the other. So what are some steps that we can take here to kind of help with these issues? One of them is to have strategic meal timing. So especially like me, when I'm in a bulking phase, a lot of the times I'm not hungry because, simple fact is that I'm already eating a lot of food because I am in a bulk. So in order to make that easier, I kind of strategize my meal timing around the day. So even though I might not be hungry like during breakfast, like for me personally, I don't get hungry for a few hours after I wake up. But even though I'm not hungry, I still make an effort to eat something. I still have a breakfast meal if I'm in a bulking phase because I need those calories. So you need to typically do the same thing. I'm not saying you need to absolutely stuff your face with food all day. I'm just saying have a couple meals throughout the day so that you're always eating, you're always getting in calories. That way it's much easier to hit your calorie goals for the day. Because if you just eat when you're hungry, there's a good chance you might not be getting enough calories in. The other thing is to focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. We briefly talked about that already. Just stick to those outside aisles of the grocery store and a consistent protein intake. Setting a protein goal if you're bulking is super easy. If you're trying to put on natural drug-free muscle as a young skinny guy, super easy. I'll explain it really quick. I'll give you an example. I weigh 180 pounds, so I would eat 180 grams of protein every single day. If you are a young natural skinny guy trying to build drug-free muscle as well, say you weigh 150 pounds, to make this super easy, you would eat 150 grams of protein. Basically take the amount you weigh in pounds and eat that amount in grams of protein if you want to build muscle. Quick story, my biggest mistake, eating enough junk, staying skinny. I used to feel like I was eating enough food. I used to feel like I was eating enough calories, but it was all junk food. And once I finally started to track those calories, I realized that a lot of that junk food, although it was a lot of calories, it was super bad for me. And it was probably one of the reasons why I felt super lethargic and super crappy every single day. I've had clients who have doubled their gains by prioritizing real food daily. It's kind of a snowball effect because once you focus on actually eating cleaner and you try to fill your calories through whole foods, I promise you'll feel better. And if you feel better, typically you'll perform better in the gym. If you perform better in the gym, you'll work out harder. If you work out harder, you'll challenge your muscles harder. If you challenge your muscles harder, then typically you'll get better results because you're working harder in the gym. So like I said, it's a good snowball effect. Number 2, strategic recovery, where muscle is built. Recovery is another one of those things that is just as important as your training as well too. I always tell my clients that training and recovery go hand in hand. They're 50-50 because you can't just spend all your time training. You need to spend time focusing on recovery as well too. I don't care how hard you train in the gym. If you train too hard and you don't focus on recovery, you're not going to get gains either. So good recovery, what does that entail? Pretty much as a young, natural, drug-free lifter, you're going to need at least 2 days between training a certain muscle in order to have enough time to recover, depending on how hard you hit it. So I'll make it super easy. Say you do your chest, you work out chest on Monday. If you work out chest hard enough, like you properly should, as a natural, this industry standard is to pretty much give yourself about 48 hours, about 2 days worth of rest before you hit chest again. So I always tell my clients is to kind of program their splits and workout routines around that idea. Is basically you can train a muscle, give it 2 days to recover before you can hit it again. Unshakable mindset, pillar number 3. This is another thing that's super important as well. Having a good mindset is super important if you're a young, natural, skinny lifter trying to build drug-free muscle as well too, because if you don't have the proper mindset, I'll tell you right now that you're just going to give up too early. So what does an unshakable mindset mean? It means that you don't just rely on motivation to go to the gym. You rely on discipline and systematic systems that you have placed in your life in order to make going to the gym easier, that type of thing. So some systems that you can implement in your life to make going to the gym easier would be things like having an alarm, laying out your clothes the night before the gym. That way you don't have to get up and figure out what to wear. Like you just throw your clothes on and you're ready to go. Have your shoes at the door. Have your gym bag in the car. If you have a shake, make your shake the night before. Maybe you have pre-workout. Take the pre-workout before you even leave the house. That way you feel obligated to go to the gym, because if you take a whole serving of pre-workout, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to be sitting here tweaking at your house. So that's another thing you can do as well. But aside from that, when it comes to mindset as well, if you are a young, natural, skinny guy trying to build drug-free muscle, you need to shift your mindset from thinking, oh, I'm a skinny guy, I'm probably going to stay skinny forever, I'm stuck like this, I'm never going to put on size. And you need to shift your mindset into the idea that, yes, I have fully acknowledged that I'm a skinny guy, but I am now starting to take the steps in order to build the physique and the body that I want. So in other words, transition from thinking, oh, I'm stuck like this forever, into thinking, hey, I'm skinny now, but I'm changing who I am. I'm taking the steps, and I'm making the sacrifices that I need to make in order to build the body and achieve the goals that I want for my physique. So that's about it. these are a couple pillars that are super important when it comes to natural muscle growth. Quick recap, we went over nutrition, we went over recovery, which is just important as you're training, and we went over some mindset tips as well too. Hopefully you guys have something to take away. You can take a couple of those tips and apply them to your training, apply them to your life as well. If you are looking for more information, however, I do offer a complete A to Z program that masters all three of these pillars, as well as include some other guides as well. Like I have modules on nutrition, mindset, recovery as well. Optimization, I talk about sleep. I talk about what to do on your rest days. I have full training programs that are literally dedicated for young, natural, skinny guys who are trying to build drug-free muscle. So I'll say it again. If you are a young guy, you're trying to do this completely natural, drug-free, and you've been struggling to put on muscle for a little bit, this is the exact program. It's literally created for people just like you, people who are just like me in the past. So if you feel like you fit that demographic, I definitely recommend you check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. You can check it out for completely free. There's no cost to check it out. So go ahead and take a look at that. That's definitely your next step. But in the meantime, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you guys learned something. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.